Hello again, welcome back to Travel Talk, episode number 22. Last episode was all about buses and our long bus journey from Dallas, Texas, down to El Paso, and then back up to Arizona, where we would be staying in Flagstaff for 2 days, mainly to see the Grand Canyon. Left Dallas behind, had a terribly boring bus trip that lasted 20 hours, and now we were in Flagstaff, so it was all good. So yeah, we'll get straight into it. So today was our first full day in Flagstaff. Obviously, like I say, we only had 2 days there. 1 day would be taken up by the Grand Canyon, so that left today to do a lot of like walking around, exploring sort of thing. So we got up about 7:30, had a free breakfast and a shower in the hostel, and then basically headed out to the tourist information to grab a few maps, just to get a feel of the area, and also to locate the nearest Walmart because I needed to replace my laptop and my Kindle because I was writing a blog the entire time that I was away, and obviously not having a laptop meant I wasn't able to do it, and I was having to do it on my phone. And anyone who's tried to send like very long text messages knows how difficult it can be to have like a full conversation via your phone. So imagine trying to write blog posts every day with your phone. So it was a little bit difficult, but we were going to get those replaced today, which was good. So yeah, we headed out down Route 66, about 45-minute walk from our hostel. We were coming out of the historic district and going more into the retail area, which housed basically all like the fast food restaurants and the big shops and all that sort of thing. It took about 45 minutes walking, so we headed out about 9 o'clock, got up probably to Walmart about 9:45 sort of time. Went in there, spent about 45 minutes in there looking around. I managed to get a laptop, a HP Blue laptop for, I think it was about $149, which was pretty good. Still got that laptop, still use it, it's a very good laptop. So I managed to get that. I managed to get a replacement Kindle. It was a step up from the Kindle I had stolen, and it was cheaper, so that was even better. So yeah, I got those replaced, which is really good obviously. I felt a bit lost without my laptop while I was away, because like I say, I was writing this blog every day and it felt weird not being able to write and convey how I was feeling each day. But we got it replaced, so that meant I could go back to doing that. While we were at Walmart, we had lunch at McDonald's, and then headed back, took the 45-minute walk back again, and went back into the kind of the central historic area of Flagstaff. Walked around there, went in some of the little shops, had some it was a late afternoon dinner sort of thing that we had in one of the little cafes, which was really good. It was all kind of like cooked food, and it's all like homemade stuff. Obviously, being a little cafe, they couldn't be a McDonald's and just like force feed you crap. So yeah, we did that. Went in some of the little shops, like I say. A lot of the buildings there are really like charming old style buildings. They've got a lot of history to them, a lot of stories to tell. So that was pretty cool. Went to the post office there, got some international stamps. I haven't mentioned this before, but we were sending postcards back from every single place we went to in America, sending them home. So we did that, got those postcards sent back, and basically then headed back to the hostel because we wanted to have an early night, because the next day would be taken up fully with the Grand Canyon, and we ought to make the most of that, obviously, because it's one of those experiences that you never know if you can be able to do it again. So yeah, headed back there. Spent probably about 2 or 3 hours in front of the television in the communal TV room, spoke to an American and some German girls, and it showed them what Compare the Meerkat looks like, the meerkat itself, because I hadn't ever seen it, because it's only a thing in England basically, and I think in Australia, but I think I saw it there. But anyway, so yeah, we did that, headed to bed about 10 o'clock, like I say, next day was going to be the Grand Canyon, so that's where all that fun and the action would be. So yeah, the next day, Grand Canyon Day, it was exciting times. Everyone wants to see the Grand Canyon. Obviously, it's really cool. You see it in like films and TV shows, and you think, "Wow, that looks cool." But it's not until you get to it that it's like, "Wow." So yeah, we got up about 7 o'clock the next day. Had to be outside the hostel by 9, ready to get on the little bus that we were going on. And so we had breakfast, got showered again. Got changed and headed outside. We waited for the little bus, which turned up bang on 9 o'clock, which is always good. And we did wonder, admittedly, how many people were going to be on the tour. Because if there's too many, you don't feel like you get enough out of it. But if there's too few, then obviously you just haven't got people to talk to. Luckily for us, there was only 8 people in total, which was a good number. There was us from England, there was 2 from Australia, and 4 from America. Which was a nice mix of people, and everyone was really chatty and got on well, so that was cool. We arrived at the canyon itself about, well, actually, first of all, we went to a shop on the way. It was about 45 minutes away from the hostel. We went to a shop. It was called I think it was the Twin Eagles Trading Post, which was basically a touristy shop, sold all your touristy bits, and, it got a lot of money out of us, obviously. Not us personally, but the tour bus itself. It was a small local run shop, it made the most out of being in the Grand Canyon and sold everything you could want about it. So fair play to them there. Jumped back on the bus, drove another 15 minutes and actually got to the canyon itself. As we pulled up, there was 2 elk on the floor sunbathing, which kind of told you straight away that you'd come to a different sort of place, because you don't get elk in England. And it's not until you get to the edge of the canyon and look out that it's just one of the most breathtaking views you'll ever see. It's just incredible, in all honesty. The canyon's just so vast, and it just goes on for miles. The grandeur of it really strikes you straight away. I mean, you look down and it goes down for miles, and it goes across for miles, and it's not until you're stood on the edge and you're looking at it all that you really get the impact of this isn't a man-made creation. The Earth has made this look like this, It's one of the wonders of the world, and rightly so, because it's just an incredible experience to be there. We were there for about an hour on that side of it, the initial side that we arrived on. We walked along the kind of edge, got some great photos, obviously. I think in total, I took about 250 photos. So I had to go through them that night and, check which ones were actually usable. But yeah, we walked along there for an hour, met the bus driver at the next checkpoint, jumped back on the bus, went to another viewing point, and got a load more photos. When we were at this viewing point, ironically, the driver said to us that there was a way of getting past the barrier and getting down really low into the canyon. So obviously a little bit dangerous, but you got a lot better views and better photos out of it. So we jumped on that opportunity. I think only me and one of the Australian blokes actually went down there with him. But it was an amazing experience. We had to kind of slide down the canyon a little bit, and you went probably about 30 or 40 feet down from where the barrier was itself, so it was pretty deep inside it. So yeah, got some great photos there. It was kind of like we were creating memories with each click of the photo button. It was just stunning scenery to be around, and to be so close to the cliff front. It was an amazing, really amazing experience. The Grand Canyon is just an unbelievable place to visit. I mean, if you've not been there, I couldn't recommend it enough. You can spend an entire day just soaking in the history and the atmosphere that the Grand Canyon gives off. But we got back on the bus again, drove for another 15 minutes to a kind of campsite area. We going to have lunch, which was provided by the company, which was pretty cool. We expected a sandwich and a packet of crisps, but we had plates, and we had cutlery, we had salad, sandwiches, crisps, drinks, pasta, cookies. It's like you kind of were going to a small restaurant. We were like, wow, this is pretty cool. We had a really great lunch. It was really good because obviously everyone around the table was really chatty and wanted to learn about each other, especially us because we were the English people that were travelling. So they asked a lot of questions about us, and it was cool. We got to know them pretty well after. We were only with them for 8 hours, but it was really cool. Had lunch. About an hour later, we jumped back on the bus, moved on to the famous Stone Tower viewing point at the canyon to get some more photos, go up the canyon, get photos from there. And basically we stopped off on the way back. About 5 minutes away from the canyon, there was a Native American set of shops that sold all handmade jewellery and things like that. Handmade stuff that they charged a little bit more for, but obviously you could understand paying that because it's handmade and it's keeping their economy going and keeping them as people going. We went there, but then after that we did actually head back to the hostel. We'd been gone for about 8 hours in its entirety. because obviously travel added into the 6.5 that we spent at the canyon itself. Yeah, it was a really magical experience to go there. To see the Grand Canyon with my own eyes I just can't put into words how much that means to me to have done that. And it was just an exhilarating experience to stand, I stood on the edge, I sat on the edge, I looked over the edge, and it was just like an adrenaline rush. It was exhilarating. It was, like I said, words can't really fully describe how good it was. And we then headed back to the hostel, like I say, and we'd be packing our bags, unfortunately, because we'd be moving on the next day. Though we'd be moving on to a pretty good place because we were going to Las Vegas, so you can't really complain about that. This is where this video will leave off. Hopefully you've enjoyed hearing about my Grand Canyon experience. I'll put plenty of photos at the end of the video about the canyon and Flagstaff itself. And thanks for watching again, and I'll catch you next time. So yeah.